Dogecoin price could do this soon this year in 2023. And it's not what everybody else is expecting, considering what's been going on with the controversy around Elon Musk working in the backgrounds of Dogecoin. So a lot of people aren't expecting this, which is why this is a very, very important topic for today. Anyways, we're going to get straight to it. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but we will get straight to this. So this is very important. If you look over here, what we currently have here with Dogecoin pretty much shows we're right inside of the middle of these two momentum wave bands. So this is pretty important because we need to go either up or down from here. And according to the RSI, we actually should be pulling back down here very soon. So this is important because then if you look over at this area here, it's projecting that we pull down to 0.05922. And that's a pretty important area for you to remember. Now, let's go over this article here that we have here for Analytics Insight. So it says, can Dogecoin reach $1? I truly believe that Dogecoin can reach $1. I do. I believe that Dogecoin could get to $1 and beyond. But as of the short term, it's very highly unlikely. And let's read this. It says, according to most crypto analysts, no, it does not seem likely in the short term. Reaching $1 is a significant psychological milestone for any cryptocurrency, Dogecoin included. While the Dogecoin community remains hopeful, it's uncertain if this meme coin will hit that mark anytime soon. And that's a pretty big statement, and it's actually factual. It's very factual, considering the conditions that we're actually in for this market right now. I mean, the market conditions are pretty bad. And then it says here, market conditions, demand, and a host of other factors contribute to this uncertainty. So, furthermore, for Dogecoin's price to reach $1, its market capitalization would have to grow enormously, making it highly unlikely. And also, just to kind of put this into perspective, Dogecoin's market cap at $1 would be $140 billion, right? And that's because our circulating supply is at $140.88 billion. Anything multiplied by one is itself, obviously. And yes, it will continue. We will continue to have more coins added to this total supply because there's no max supply of Dogecoin. So it'll continue to increase and increase and increase, but it doesn't increase by that much. So it's really not a big deal. But yes, it'll have to be 140 billion market cap, which is very hard. Now we've reached a very high market cap inside of the previous years. So it's been a long time coming, but Dogecoin has reached very high market caps. Now, moving on from this, there's another article here written by Finbold, and it says, in particular, the advanced machine learning algorithms deployed by the crypto tracking and analytics platform Price Predictions have set the price of Dogecoin at 0.06359 for September 30th. So they say by September 30th, we will be at 0.06359. Now, if you look over here, right now we're on the 5th of September. That's not too far down below where we are currently right now, right? It's not far below it right now. And actually, if you look at it, essentially it's actually barely below where we are. And I predict that by then, yes, it'll probably be somewhere around this area here where this red line is. But we're also looking down here towards momentum wave bands later on. After that, we should continue to drop from there. And we haven't hit the momentum wave bands yet. Typically, when we go down to these momentum wave bands, we come back up and we go to the top of them, and then we get rejected, and then we go back down. What we're seeing now is Dogecoin is heading down towards about 0.0592. And that's what we're looking towards here right now with Dogecoin. Even the RSI is showing us down here that we're supposed to be pulling back. Typically, when the RSI crosses like this is the stochastic RSI inside of TradingView. Typically, when it crosses like this, it's now going downwards for a downtrend. But you can also see right here that it looks like it's going to curve upwards, and then from there, it's going to go back downwards. So we may see Dogecoin temporarily rise up to 0.065, possibly even reaching 0.066, and possibly even 0.067 before it then gets rejected and then goes back down. And when it goes back down, that's when we're projected to get to 0.05922. So that's pretty much what we're looking at here with Dogecoin. And yeah, it's probably going to end up coming sooner rather than later. Now, this was all done through machine learning. So just looking the machines, they just kind of look, with algorithms, seeing where the chart's heading and studying the chart's movements. And that's what it's showing the machines. So that's pretty much what we got going on there. And I mean, there is a possibility that we have, a rise inside of the price of Dogecoin. But, right now, that pullback is going to look massive. And also, we got to think about it. Bitcoin is projected to hit 20K. If Bitcoin hits 20K, I'm not going to say it's all over from there, but if Bitcoin hits 20K, we're definitely seeing Dogecoin pull back from there. So that's something very, very, very important that you would want to watch. And look, this is just for the short term. For the long term, I'm a huge proponent of Dogecoin going to $1. I definitely believe Dogecoin can reach $1 for long term. But we're just talking about short term inside of this. If we're talking about long term, I mean, Dogecoin has huge capabilities of rising. Now, when we look over here at the 1 week chart, this is a pretty important chart here. And the reason this 1 week chart is important, this is about as long as you can get it. There's other charts that you can look at, but this is probably the most accurate when it comes to the long term. Look at how on the bottom of here of the RSI, it looks like it's about to cross just a little bit, but then it's definitely going to pull back down from there. And we see this time and time again when this happens. It looks like it's going to cross for a split second, but then nope, it just continues to go down from there. It goes up a little bit and then continues to go down. And we kind of see the same thing happening here with the RSI. So I think that we're going to cross and then go back down there. And yeah, there's a possibility that Dogecoin goes down to 0.04480. Yeah, 4 cents. And I know a lot of people don't want to see that, but there's a possibility that happens, because we're kind of looking at the same thing when it comes to Bitcoin. We're looking at the same projection. Bitcoin could go down to 20K, but if Bitcoin breaks 20K, it's going down to 15K. And Bitcoin, it's almost at like a 90% chance of it hitting 20K right now. And like I said, none of this is financial advice, but this is kind of what it's looking like right now. It's kind of looking like Bitcoin is about to go ahead and reach that area down there. I've been following Bitcoin for a very long time. And when we look at the Bitcoin charts, like right now, we are primed to pull back down to the support here at 25K. Right? We're already at 25.7K, but then if we break 25K and we go lower from there, then that's when we're going to see a bigger drop for Bitcoin here. Now, if you look over here at the RSI, you can see that yes, we are on a rise right now with the RSI. So like I said, there's always that possibility that Dogecoin rises a little bit to 0.067, just like there's that possibility that Bitcoin rises to 26K and eventually 27K. But what's stopping the RSI from crossing right when it hits right up here and then crossing downwards and then bringing us down to this 25K support and breaking that and then eventually getting to 20K? That's what we're looking at right now. And that's the possibilities that we're going through right now. And look, if we break the 20K Bitcoin or 25K Bitcoin, then what comes next? Well, what comes next is 20K Bitcoin after 25K Bitcoin. So we're going to look at a drop going from 25K all the way down to 20K. And see, the problem here is what happens after that? Well, if that happens, then you can bet it's going down to its next support all the way down here, which is at 15K. And see, when you look at that, you got to also think about Dogecoin. What if Dogecoin went ahead and did the same thing? If Dogecoin went ahead and did the same thing, we would see Dogecoin go down to 4 cents, because that's where our support has us right there at 4 cents. And yeah, we've been looking at this for a while here with Dogecoin. Dogecoin would pretty much be at 0.047, somewhere around there. And that's where that support would bring Dogecoin. And then if Dogecoin continued to go down there, it would go to areas unforeseen, right? It would go all the way down here to 0.009, 0.0094, 0.009, give or take. And that would be an area where no one really wants to see Dogecoin go. But it's always a possibility if we continue to go down, because you have to think about the potential support areas. Now, this is just if we see Bitcoin going down, right? If we see Bitcoin going down to 15K, then we can see Dogecoin adding on another zero and going to 0.009, right? But if Bitcoin only goes down to 20K, this is what I'm suspecting, that Bitcoin will probably only go down to 20K. Hopefully it doesn't break 20K, right? But if Bitcoin goes down to 20K, then we can expect Dogecoin to drop down to about 4 cents here. So 0.046. So it's going to be like the higher end of the 4 cents area, but you can probably end up seeing it headed down there. Now, I'm still very bullish for Dogecoin inside the long term. I'm still bullish for Dogecoin in the long term, right? But as in the short term, there's going to be this pullback. We're going to get that pullback inside of the short term. So that's what you have to expect. But long term, Dogecoin is going to be good. Dogecoin is going to have some good market trajectories upwards, and that's pretty much what we're watching out here for with Dogecoin. So we're just watching for it to go down a little bit so we can build that momentum so we can get right back up. So that's what it's going to take here, and that's kind of how it is with momentum. We've been trading sideways for the longest with Dogecoin. I mean, come on, we were back at 4 cents back in June of last year. We were at 4 cents June of last year. What's stopping us from doing it now? People want to think that it can't go down any lower. Like, no. Last year we were at this price when we were initially dropping. When we initially dropped from our rise to fame of 70-cent Dogecoin, we went all the way down to 4 cents. So that 4 cents could come again. And see, the 4 cents is like, thank you, come again, because it's probably going to come again. Now, what I want to say about Dogecoin here is, if we get to 4 cents, that's going to be a massive buying opportunity. Massive buying opportunity. And the reason why I'm saying this is, let's just say that we go ahead and we drop down to 4 cents Dogecoin, right? Well, let's say most people could probably do like, what, $1,000, maybe 100. Let's just say $1,000. $1,000 in the Dogecoin at 4 cents is going to give you 25,000 Dogecoins. And then at that price, at $1, is going to give you $25,000. It might not look like a lot, but when you start to, do that math, what if you're like, okay, let's go ahead and just multiply this by 10 and do this with 10K. Well, if you do this with 10K at 4 cents, that it's pretty much going to go all the way up to $250,000. So if you can put 10K in at 4 cents, then that's $250,000 at $1. That's pretty significant. Now, it's not like what people were doing back in the days with Dogecoin, like what the Dogecoin millionaire did, taking his money and turning it to a million, but it's still something. It's still something that can really, really change your life. So I think that this is a good option here. If we drop down to 4 cents, it presents a good buying opportunity, very good buying opportunity. So I don't know. Let me know what you all think about this in the comments. I think that Dogecoin has some potential here, but first we are definitely going to have to pull back. And yeah, we're going to have to pull back to our supports. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. And as always, I'll be back with another video.